village lived content lives. Then Tan Tian made his home in a volcano. Tan Tian was a great and fearsome red dragon. The flames from his great jaws could be seen lighting up the sky above the volcano, and below the villagers shivered. They ran to their headman of the village, crying, "What will you do about it? How can you protect us? You must do something!" The headman just shook his head because he had no ideas at all. Then one day, Tan Tian came swooping down over the village. Its great red wings cast a shadow over the whole village as it swooped down and grabbed a pig in its awful jaws. Every day for a week, the dragon took a pig or a goat, and the poor villagers were powerless to stop it. Soon there were no animals left. Then one day, it took a child, then another and another. The headman called a meeting and everyone in the village was summoned.
Oh no!
"Someone must go and kill the dragon," announced the headman. "Who will volunteer?" But who in their small village was strong and brave enough to undertake the task? No one wanted to volunteer. Some people nudged Chan, but he was big and strong, but he shrugged them off. Someone said the headman should go, as he was their leader. The headman was terrified and quickly gave up with a bath. A bag was to be filled with white pebbles, a pebble for every person in the village except one. Then one day, one black pebble was added. Whoever pulled out a black pebble would be the one to kill Tan Tian. Many of the people pulled out white pebbles and sighed with relief. Then Kuang-li's turn came, and there, in her palm, lay a black pebble.
Oh no.
The story of Kuang-li, Part 2. Kuang-li bravely set off to kill the dragon, but when she was outside the village, she sat and cried. "How can I kill a dragon? I'm only a girl. What can I do?" "Dry your eyes, Kuang-li." She looked up into a wrinkled face of an old man dressed from top to toe in black. "Take this dagger. If you thrust it under the dragon's jaw, you will succeed." "But how will I get there? It's such a big volcano." The old man then handed her a pair of boots. "You must take one step at a time and soon you will be there." Kuang-li took the dagger. It seemed to weigh nothing at all. In fact, Kuang-li knelt to put them on her feet. When she stood up again, the old man had vanished. Kuang-li bravely set off and found her feet were as light as air. She strode forward. The light boots and the feather-like dagger gave her lightness in her heart. Soon she was crossing the ground in great strides, and in no time at all she reached the foot of the volcano. There was no sign of the dragon, apart from the well-chewed bones that he had tossed down after eating his prey. Kuang-li climbed silently upward till she reached the very summit, and there she saw the dragon, sleeping. His great red wings were folded around him, always hiding his great jaws, which you could see were lying on top of a pile of animals' bones. "Oh, how am I going to be able to strike under his jaw? His head's on those bones. He'll wake and eat me," whispered Kuang-li. Shivering a little, Kuang-li crept forward towards the sleeping dragon. Despite the crunchy stones and bits of bones, her feet made not a sound in those wonderful boots, and she managed to get right next to the dragon's head without waking him. His face alone was as long as she was tall. Suddenly, a big black crow flew down and hopped around the ground near the dragon's head. Kuang-li flapped her hand to drive it away, but instead of flying off, it opened its big black
Oh.
She looked around, but the crow had vanished. The story of Kuang-li, Part 3. When Kuang-li returned, the villagers held a festival in her honour. The headman was ashamed of his cowardness, so Kuang-li became the headman of the village, and so they lived contently once more.